still up. You're live.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I am Tiffany Craig, and it's such a pretty day that we're doing this Facebook Live in the park because we have a bunch of visitors in town, and guess what? Here you go.
That's
Perfect
right.
weather. Alan Rosen is with me. He is the constable of Harris County Precinct 1. He was kind enough to stop after he's already off the clock, but he's kind enough to stop over here because we're talking about a really important topic, especially right now because it's going on. Counterfeit merchandise, specifically Super Bowl merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
And before we get you talking about it, I want to show you something because
Sure.
one of my managers let me borrow something of his,
Okay.
and I want you to take a look at it, all right? I'm gonna pull it out because I was asking people on social media today to take a look at this hat, okay?
Yes.
So it's nice.
Yes, very
right?
nice.
Okay, here we go. I'm just going to kind of show it to you around here. I'm going to show them back here. And this belongs to my manager, Bill Bishop, and he said, no fingerprints, leave it in the box, don't mess it up.
No chocolate cookie.
Right. So we're guessing we already know, but take a look. What do you think? Is this thing real or is it a counterfeit?
This is a real hat that is sanctioned by the NFL.
How do you know?
It's got the logo on it on the back. That's got the little logo that it signifies that it is an NFL sanctioned or copyrighted product of the NFL. See?
And so when you buy something, this is what you're searching for, this sort of hologram sticker?
Yes.
That's what you're searching
Yes.
for first,
Yes.
to know.
Yes.
And by the way, for those of you who are just joining us, I'm Alan Rosen, Constable with Precinct 1 here in Harris County. You are working with HPD and with ICE to combat this.
Yes.
What is it that you're doing out there to stop this kind of stuff from coming into Houston?
Well, the NFL reached out to our office in conjunction with other agencies that you mentioned, but us in particular, we actually went to court with them and got a restraining order for people that are actually out selling this pirated material. And so we actually went to the courthouse and got a judge to sign an order enabling us to seize whatever we find that is not NFL sanctioned property.
Wow.
And so the judge actually gave us a court order which gives us the legal right to actually go out and seize these items. And so embedded on our team is also a brand expert who actually is with us from the NFL, and they are experts at identifying bogus items as opposed to real items. So we have a brand expert with us. We have officers with a court order that are able to go out and seize items that are the fake items.
And so this brand expert can walk out to a table, say, that's set up somewhere, and actually just look at something and at face value can tell if it's real or not?
Yes. They have, the NFL has trained people over the years to recognize their items, their copyrighted items. And so every team that is out enforcing this court order has a brand expert that is embedded with them from the NFL. And so typically we usually have the brand expert go in first, actually look around and see if the items that are present or being sold are pirated items. And from there, if they give us a positive indication that they're pirated, we come in and seize them.
Another thing, for those of you just joining us, we're taking your questions as well. I know maybe some of you, I don't know, heck, you might have an item. If you want to take a picture of it, we could try and tell you. But if you have questions for the constable, he's here right now. We're talking live, so you can pose your question, and I'm going to run around to the other side of this iPad and look and see what people are asking. But while I walk over there, answer one thing that really kind of helped me understand this week why buying counterfeit merchandise is such a bad idea. What is this stuff funding? Why is it so bad? And I'm going to walk over here while you're answering that.
Well, the answer is that anytime you have people conducting illegal activities, and this is illegal and criminal in many instances, it funds other things, other nefarious organizations, other criminal activities can be funded by this illegal activity. So, often you have drug dealers that sell drugs and fund other nefarious things as well. So often we find that people that are interested and willing to break the law, it can fund drug activity. It can fund other illegal gambling activities. It can fund all prostitution rings. It can help be a funding source to create a criminal enterprise. And so for us, it's important that we enforce the law that we make sure that the items that are being pirated from the NFL are dealt with accordingly. And now a court has issued court order paperwork for us to seize any and all items that we find that are pirated items that belong to the NFL.
Someone who's joining us on here named Nicholas Rodriguez, here's his question. Where is the line being drawn? If it's a mom and pop merchant, I don't see the issue. So what constitutes a pirated item?
It's copyrighted. The NFL items are copyrighted. It's just like having a patent, a drug company having a patent. Somebody else can't come and violate that drug company's patent and start manufacturing that same medication. So this is the same thing. I mean, you're dealing with people that, you're dealing with organizations that are intentionally, knowingly going out and actually making fake items that they're passing off as real items. It's very deceptive to the public, and it's not fair, and it hurts people's pocketbooks. It affects people in so many different ways, and so, you know, we have a job to do, and we're going to do it. And, you know, you pay, often these people that have the pirated counterfeit material often charge the same rates as the regular patented or copyrighted material.
Where does a lot of this stuff, where is it coming from? I know that's an awfully big question.
It is.
Is it coming from everywhere?
It's coming from a lot of our countries that, you know, are foreign, you know, China, maybe Mexico. Some are domestically being manufactured. And oftentimes they try to look very real. I mean, they'll try to put on a hologram, for instance, that looks NFL sanctioned. And it's not. So from my perspective, that's why we have the brand experts that are with us to ensure that we're right when we're seizing something.
This is Constable Alan Rosen with Precinct 1 here in Harris County, and people are saying, wait, Precinct 1? You part of downtown is part of your precinct. Yes.
Most of the activities that are going on for NFL related items or venues or activities are going on in Precinct 1. So Discovery Green and all down Washington Avenue, all the major hotels that are in the downtown area are all in Precinct 1. But of course, we're Harris County officers, so we can go pretty much anywhere in Harris County, especially with a court order.
Is this the first time there's ever been, well, I guess when we think about the Super Bowl the last time around, things were probably a whole lot different, but a court order, have you heard of other cities doing the same things? Have they done that in the past from what you know?
Yes, the NFL's worked with local authorities and federal authorities because the feds are in on this as well. A lot of this stuff is being shipped from foreign countries, and a lot of it gets confiscated at airports on the inbound side of the merchandise coming into the United States. So our federal partners are also embedded in our group as well. And so, yeah, they've had to enforce these every year. Every year we have people, just like the illicit sex business is in town right now that we're dealing with. Yes. So all of those things are criminal elements. The pirating of NFL sanctioned copyrighted stuff is just another component of a criminal enterprise.
Can I steal that hat back?
Sure.
I'm going to show this to you again because this hat belongs to one of our managers. His name is Bill Bishop, and he actually didn't want me to bring this out here because he loves it so much already. Wanted me to keep it in a box, and I said, well, I just need to pull it out for a couple minutes so I can show the constable. Again, I asked you to take a look at this and tell me if you thought it was real or not, and tell me again what your answer was and why.
After you look at it, I mean, you can tell it has the NFL logo on it. It looks like the proper size, and it has code numbers on it.
Will you turn that around and kind of face it that direction?
Sure, absolutely.
And I'm going to step back over here and see if we have more questions.
Yeah. And so you'll see that this has the NFL logo on it, which tells you that it's a NFL owned or copyrighted item. And so again, I mean, you're going to, and some of our pirated material, some of our people that are actually selling the pirated material give you a slight discount by saying they bought it in bulk or they bought it from other source. But again, really make sure that you buy the NFL copyrighted material because it is the stuff sanctioned by the NFL. The NFL does a lot of really good stuff with in communities. And a lot of the money they make off of merchandising does go to communities, to give back to communities.
Is that kind of a red flag when somebody says, "Oh, well, it's cheaper because I bought it"? I mean, is that
Yes,
kind of one of those?
it is a red flag. It is something that you should be suspicious of. Often the quality is not there, so you buy something that's cheaper, and then after you wash it one time, it shrunk 2 sizes,
No.
and it may rip. So, I mean, if you really want something authentic and something that's a real keepsake, you should buy the copyrighted NFL merchandise.
So Shonda Gale Francis Hall says there's always going to be knockoffs, but you are correct, it's very wrong. What's the penalty if caught? Do you know what the penalty is?
You can either have a civil penalty, that's going to be up to the NFL, a civil penalty, and you also could have some criminal charges. It all depends on what's found. I can tell you this also, because people always ask me this question. I'll throw a question in there for your audience. Okay. They often wonder what we do with the seized material, the seized items. So we hold those items until the case is resolved, and then we give it to the NFL. And what we're told is the NFL, in some cases, whenever there's a natural disaster, a tsunami or something, and people have no clothes, that they'll send this material over to a foreign country to try to help clothe people. So sometimes it's sent for good use or used for good use to help people somewhere else besides the United States, and sometimes it's destroyed.
I don't know if I've just seen this maybe on Saturday Night Live or something, but is it true, and I'm sure probably in your years in law enforcement you've probably seen this, where maybe there's something spelled a little incorrectly or something that's not quite right?
Yeah. You should obviously look at the item, inspect it, ask the question, is this a real authentic NFL item? And from that perspective, once you've looked it over, look at all the lettering, because often our crooks or some of the places they have it manufactured don't have the same quality. And you'll see that words are misspelled, things, the logos are off, and that's another indication that that's a pirated item.
Okay. Let me put this hat back. Bill, don't worry.
No, Bill, I think I'm Bill, you don't want this. This is a beautiful NFL sanctioned hat. I'd sure like to keep it.
Wait, here's another one. What about this one? Hold on, let me dust it off a little bit. Okay, what about this one? Take a look at this one.
Yep, this is a real item. Although for a second it didn't, but it looks like
spelled right. Yeah, it's spelled right.
Super Bowl, but it looked a little faded there on the bottom, I thought. See where the Super Bowl?
Oh yeah.
I'll show it to you. I don't think you'll be able to see it very well, but it's somewhat faded there. That may be the design. It does have the hologram at the bottom, and this looks like a real item.
Yeah, he scratched off the price tag.
Right.
I don't think he wanted me to see I don't know, but he scratched it
Right,
off.
but there's your hologram, and it's consistent with NFL branding.
So I'm going to walk up here. I'm actually going to get a little bit closer so people can see this.
Sure.
And do me a favor, since wait, I'm way too far from you, but tell people again the downside, the negative side to buying things that are counterfeit. Why shouldn't we buy it if we see it?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. You're going to deal with quality issues. It's not made the same. You're helping fund a criminal enterprise, so you don't know what they're going to use that money for. It could be as far of a stretch as a terrorist organization. You just don't know. So, I mean, you can use these things for just about anything. You're helping fund a criminal enterprise.
I guess when you see somebody on the side of the street with a pop-up table and they're just selling whatever and it's Super Bowl stuff, and you think, oh cool, maybe I can get a deal, you don't think where that came from and what damage it could do when that money makes its way back.
Yeah.
I guess, and I've never really understood that.
You can, and also some of these things are made in sweatshops where you have 12-year-olds and 10-year-olds that are making the item in these sweatshops. It's just you really don't think past the purchase.
You don't.
And you really mainly think about, oh, I got a good deal on this item, and you're happy and you go on down the road. But the quality's not there. A lot of the quality that we've seen of the stuff we've seized is the quality's not there.
Yeah.
The item's not going to be, sanctioned. You would never be able to, for instance, put it on eBay and sell it if at some later time something becomes famous about the Super Bowl. You won't be able to sell that item as an authentic NFL item. If you got autographs from players on any of your memorabilia, it would really essentially be worthless.
So are you going to the game?
I am. I'm looking forward to it. I think our city's done an incredible job of pulling together. I think we have a real excitement going on right now in the city. We have. It's just going to be a great game. It's a good way to showcase the Harris County and the city, to show all the diversity and the richness of the diversity we have here. And I just think this is a time for our city to shine.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to the game. I am going to the game. In a law enforcement
Lucky
capacity.
dog.
Yeah, it's from the law. I'm there to work. Wish I was going just for pleasure, but
Sure.
It's really going to be a great game and a great day and a great way to showcase our county and our city.
Yeah. But just be careful though when you're out there buying Super Bowl merchandise. Just make sure you're buying the real stuff.
Yeah, and we're going to be out there. We're going to be out looking for the pirated stuff. So those that are selling things illegally, you're going to have to do so in a way that's not really open to the public, because you never know. All of our guys are undercover, so they're wearing plain clothes. You would never know they're policemen. And so we'll just come up. We'll have brand experts with us that are going to go and check your merchandise, and they'll be looking at it as if they're going to buy it, but really they're checking to see if it's authentic.
All right. Well, Constable Rosen, thank you so much for coming out to the park.
Thank you. It's a beautiful day,
Isn't it?
actually.
It is beautiful. And have fun, everybody, with the rest of the festivities this week and watching the game, whether you're going or you're going to be on the couch. So we will see you back here the same time next week.
Thank you, guys.
Did you switch it off? You have to press the button. Sorry.